Do or die for the Vegas Golden Knights, trailing 3-1. Can VGK send this series back to Edmonton? Our thoughts and much, much more ahead on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Kris Knoblauch from Las Vegas. I am a longtime sportscaster, marketing consultant, and the host of the new Believe in Vegas podcast. Kris, of course, the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports and the collectibles editor for the Hockey News. We thank you so much for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. We are the only VGK podcast that is on the airwaves daily. Coming up ahead, we've got a preview of game number 5 and any lineup changes in store for the Golden Knights. Later on, our locks and predictions for the game number 5. So, Kris, if history repeats, VGK could be in trouble for Wednesday's game 5. VGK in elimination games is 3-5 overall. And say what you will about Kris Knoblauch, but his Oiler teams, according to Jason Greger of the Daily Faceoff and Sports Talk 1440, are 15-2 under Knoblauch in games 4 through 7. So they've played well later on in series. And in doing so, they have outscored opponents 60-25 and maligned goaltender Stuart Skinner 11-1 in games 4 through 7. So there's something about the way that this team has been built and constructed that makes them better late in series. And of course, the only loss in the last couple of seasons for Stuart Skinner was the game 7 loss to Florida. So VGK has so much to clean up. Again, we can leave those numbers behind, but at the end of the day, VGK needs to execute. They need to play better. They need to play well. They need to start with winning all these puck battles. And they have to have better puck management. And they definitely need to play better defensively in front of Adin Hill. But the one thing that really sticks out where I think it's a mismatch is the physical battle. And how does VGK, again, the biggest key, especially early in the game, how do they withstand the physicality of the Edmonton Oilers?
I'm going to take a hit of my holy water here first.
Okay, so I saw...
so hold on a second. Hold on. Listen, the Golden Knights need some help right now, Tony. The Golden Knights need some help right now. Pope Leo is on the show to help us out.
Hello.
Pope Leo is joining the show today.
Hey, Pope.
You guys are going to have to forgive me. They don't have the Pope Mobile set up for me yet, so I'm in a Ford Edge right now.
Okay.
Very good. Pope Leo, how are we feeling about our Golden Knights heading in to game number 5? You need a sunroof, buddy. You need a sunroof, Pope. You got to talk to somebody.
They took the day off yesterday, so I think they're going to come out strong today. The Pope is going to be at the game, and I'll make sure I show up pregame today. I got to the game the other day, and then we started scoring. I was a little late, so that was my fault.
Hey,
so
Pope,
we should have won that thing before overtime.
Are you going to crank the siren, or are we going to have Lamar Odom come back?
I'll do whatever they need me to do. If they want me to skate out there with the Knight at the beginning of the game, I'll learn to skate. I'll learn to skate by tomorrow.
Okay, that would be really good because we need the Knight to lose again before he retires, right? I mean,
and you know what they got to do? They got to be a little proactive tomorrow. They got to hit somebody. It's not tennis. Hit somebody.
Where'd you go shopping? At Costco? What are those bags behind you there? Oh no, it's okay. Yeah.
Nothing. Don't worry about it. So Pope Leo, Connor McDavid, he's a great player. And, at some point it'd be nice if McDavid lifted his Stanley Cup, but not maybe this year. What are your thoughts on Connor McDavid?
Well, I was taking a lot of pictures with Edmonton Oilers fans at the game yesterday. And after the game, I congratulated them and said, great game. But I told them, a great game tonight. But just so you know, not even I can make Connor McDavid win a Stanley Cup.
Not even Pope Leo can help Connor McDavid win a Stanley Cup. So last question, Pope Leo, and then we'll get back to our business.
I've got one too. Go ahead.
Okay,
man.
so Tony's got one, so I'll go first. What can you do to help the Golden Knights tomorrow? What are you going to do?
I mean, I'll be there. I'll cheer for them. I'll be shaming people during penalties. I'll be wearing my Pope hat. You know, it didn't get in the way of the people behind me the other day. That was
good.
a lot of people's worries, but it didn't get in the way. But yeah, we're gonna win tomorrow. We got this. We're gonna win tomorrow. We're gonna win Game 6 in Edmonton, and we're coming back to Vegas and winning in Game 7, and it's gonna be a blowout.
Let's go. What you got, Tony?
I thought that you were a Blackhawks fan, but can you play between the pipes? I mean, they need help with goaltending.
I mean, I'm not a good goalie, but I'll hit someone.
Okay, that's
the
fair.
Pope is a big hitter. All right, so Pope, last question. If you were going to play hockey, what position would you play?
He's a goalie.
This guy is looking at me like I am a weirdo right now.
You are a weirdo, but it's okay. I've known you for a long time. I can say that.
Oh, I'd be the center, obviously.
Be the center. All right.
Okay.
Pope Leo.
I don't got any speed, but I got God on my side.
Oh, my goodness. Pope Leo, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule as you get ready to relocate across the country. So
yes,
there goes the Pope, everybody. It's a good. Golden Knights are in a good spot. Let's go.
And please heal.
I just cut off the Pope. Oh, my goodness.
Alex Pietrangelo, Mark Stone, Braden McNabb, and the assistant trainer. They need to be healed. So where were we? VGK needs the first goal in a game like this, right, to boost their confidence. And they almost had it the other night because we saw Barbashev on the breakaway and missing in action. Barbashev, Hurdle. What has Hurdle done? Nothing for nothing.
No, I mean, it's unfortunate because we talked about there was concerns about people are dragging Kelly McCrimmon right now and things like that. Fine, whatever. Not saying McCrimmon did enough in this trade deadline, the 2024-25 season.
I've said that.
And that's fine. But Hurdle and Hannafin, they go back to they count for this season is what I'm trying to say. The Golden Knights, if they would have made a run last year, if they would have gotten out of that first round against the Stars, great, fine, whatever. Of course, that did not work out like that. But this is really where the Golden Knights loaded up for. And you have Hannafin, you have Hurdle, Riley Smith, and of course, Brandon Saad's situation is unfortunate. We'll see if he's going to get back in the game or not. So the depth is there, but it's just not matching what we've seen, of course, out of the Edmonton Oilers. And again, full mark to the Oilers, full credit to Knoblauch. He made a lot of changes. We'll talk in the second segment. If we think Cassidy is going to make wholesale changes, panic, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of panic with fans right now. And
that's fine.
Again, you take it one game at a time. You really do at this juncture. You can't get to winning this series without winning game number 5. And VGK's power play, Chris, right? It was so predictable in game 4. So predictable. I was saying that Edmonton wasn't doing enough defensively, and they weren't playing passing lanes. Their sticks were on the wrong side. If you have Mark Stone there below the goal line, wouldn't you want to put the stick on the right side rather than the left to try to stop a pass that's going into the slot? For crying out loud, they're trying to be too pretty. The passes, again, it's Eichel below the goal line, Stone, back to Eichel, and then across the crease to either goal-less son or Dorofeyev, either one of those two. And they're breaking up the passes right there in the slot. For crying out loud, with the power play, you're going to get opportunities. Again, 5 shots, period, in 3 power play opportunities in the last game. And the Golden Knights have got to create something on special teams. How do they do it? Are they going to have changes? It's definitely necessary because we know ourselves where the puck is going to go, for crying out loud. Once in a while, you'll have the QB, either Theo or the guy who has the pin, Hannafin, rather. You have those two guys, and they're going to shoot it from the top of the slot. I mean, up top there. What's going on with the power play? Because I think it's important that VGK, again, second in the league in the regular season, but they're not getting it done in the postseason.
You're redder than Paul Heyman's last promo on Monday Night Raw right now, Tony. Take a deep breath. No, everything you said about the power play is valid. And when plan A isn't working, when they keep trying to work the puck to the inside with passing, plan B needs to be just a seeing eye shot from the point. Got to have a body in front of that. Without a body in front of that, it doesn't work. And the Golden Knights have to read that very, very quickly. If they spend 45 minutes on the perimeter not getting anything on the inside, the next power play, if there is a next power play, the Golden Knights better find a way to get the puck on net from the point. I got a magic number in my head. I think the Golden Knights need to find a path to 14 high danger scoring chances in this
Where'd
game.
you come up with that number?
So I'm looking at what the Golden Knights have done: 7, 19, 10, and 8. As far as the series goes, the Golden Knights right now trail the high danger situations 44 to 55. So the Oilers have 11 greater high danger chances. The one game that the Golden Knights did win, the Golden Knights, that was the 19, or no, the overtime game is when the Golden Knights generated 19 high danger chances at 19 to 18, and that was 10 to 12 in game 3, the game the Golden Knights ended up winning. So just 14 high danger chances feels like a nice number. Stuart Skinner, good game, full credit, shut out the Golden Knights on 8 high danger chances and 20 whatever shots it was. But that's not going to happen 2 games in a row, especially if the Golden Knights can get somewhere in the teens as far as high danger chances.
Why do you think VGK is having so many difficulties there with clogging up the neutral zone? I know that Edmonton is faster, but what can they do to stop and to quit those quick entries?
I don't know, and I mean, if I knew the answer to this, I'd be behind the bench, and I'd have the Pope out there, line one center. So I mean, unfortunately, I don't have an answer. I mean, it's easy, muddy up the neutral zone. It should be no problem.
Yeah,
We got Connor
should be no
McDavid
problem.
And
No problem.
You know, we got those guys. They're pretty good.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of Coach Cassidy. Jack Eichel, I believe, in the postgame said it best. It needs to be a 5-man forecheck. And
Okay,
no, here
so
you go, Tony.
who was missing on the forecheck?
Well,
who wasn't forechecking?
I don't know. I mean, probably
Carlson and Smith
Dorofeev, maybe.
Dorofeev wasn't, right.
Maybe even Barbashev to a degree. We've been critical of him.
No, there's something wrong with him. Probably somebody pointed that out, and
Well,
I have to say maybe something's up there.
You need pressure from the F1, and then F2 and F3 need to be in the passing lanes, and the defensemen need to make a choice. We've seen Nick Hague pinch. Shea Theodore got in trouble pinching. It wasn't his fault. That goal was not his fault, but it didn't help.
But I said earlier in the series, you can't pinch too deep because Edmonton on the breakouts, again, a faster team. I said that before.
But if you don't pinch, then McDavid burns Jack Eichel, and the Oilers win in overtime.
Poison. Okay, pick your poison, right?
Exactly. No, and that's actually a great way to put it. What's the response? Obviously, we'll probably hit that a lot harder in the second segment, but this is where Coach Cassidy needs to show why he's among the top 3 or 4 coaches in the NHL.
Okay, I said yesterday he's been good, not great. Coming up next,
absolutely.
Do we anticipate any lineup changes heading into the next game? It's game number 5. It's do or die. Remember last year someone said you can't say that. Coming up next, right?
We said the Pope on. We're good.
Okay, we're good. Next on Locked On Golden Knights. Am I still red? Looking for a snack that is both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios. And I think that it is consensus on this show with all of our provinces. Let's get Canadian here. All of our provinces reporting that we are both the no shells variety guys.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Less
okay.
mess.
That is consensus here. All provinces reporting in. So it is the perfect grab and go snack, especially on busy days. Whether I am snacking at my desk, on a road trip, what have you, or if I just need a quick protein boost, they are always my go-to. And a lot of our friends of this show have taken photos, and I guess they are definitely catching on to the wave of wonderful pistachios. And what they do for you, they are a complete protein, and they provide all the 9 essential amino acids this headset's not complying. And of course, wonderful pistachios is perfect with the no shell variety for that grab and go ease. The satisfying crack of opening up each shell is also good because it is like snack mediation. When Eichel scored, someone said Jack mediation. So again, get crackin' Vegas. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com. Again, get crackin' and get snackin' with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com. Back on this edition of Locked On. What other surprises do we have?
No,
Back
that's
on
it.
this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco, Kris Knoblauch, and the Pope reporting from Las Vegas. The Pope needs to help out tourism here because that is slumping in a big way.
Is it,
Thanks for
or
making
are
us
they just not
quick
getting the
listen.
people in fast enough at the hotel check-ins?
No.
There's always 3-hour lines. So okay.
There's 3-hour lines, and you have to pay more if, like, you
I
want
know.
a line pass
I
to
know.
get to the head of
I
the
know.
line. Oh my goodness!
The resort fee
Again,
doesn't cover that. Okay, back to hockey.
okay, back to hockey, and we'll save a lot of those comments for WTF on Friday. Saturday is the Kris and Kris Jr. show. Former VGK coach, of course, Pete DeBoer, goes 11-7. I think VGK could do this with Ben Hutton in the lineup as the lone wolf. You got fresh legs, at least, for crying out loud, because you've got White Cloud McLeod. I don't think he's played really well. Petro is just getting beaten. They quoted me and getting beaten to a pulp there at Edmonton. And again, McNabb is just, who knows, like he's just got one shoulder, one side of his body's okay. Why wouldn't they go with some fresh legs in this lineup? And maybe it's not Hutton, maybe it's not 11-7.
Who is it then, Tony? Who is it?
Yeah.
Who's the who? I mean, Ron Bjerg is not the savior of the Golden Knights right now.
Maybe, or
Lavoie, sure, but he's not. I mean, okay, he knows the Oilers. He used to be in the Oilers. There you go, revenge game. He's not the savior right now.
Okay,
Korzak, Ben Hutton, no. What we see is what we get, and somewhere, somehow, out of these 12 current forwards, 13 if Brandon Saad plays and someone goes down, out of these 12 forwards, Cassidy has to spin the dials one time to get a win in a do or die game, as your title states right now. And, Knoblauch is winning the coaching battle temporarily. Hines was winning the coaching battle in the Wild series. And of course, I've been very clear that Pete DeBoer won the coaching battle in the Stars series. So this is going to start wearing on Cassidy, and he's got a pretty good team. He's got a hobbled team, but he's got a pretty good team. And it looks like the last game you had a combination of Eichel, Howden, Stone out there, and then Hurdle, Olofsson, Dorofeev, Carlson, Barbashev, Smith. If I got the call to move the lines around, said, "Hey, Kris, what do you say?" Cassie's not going to call me, but if he did, I would go Olofsson on top with Eichel and Stone. I would go Barbashev on line 2 with Hurdle and Dorofeev just to have some grit on that line, and then line 3, give me Carlson, Smith, and Howden. And the Carlson, Smith, Howden line is going to take turns shadowing McDavid and or Draisaitl, depending on the situations. So hopefully allow for the top 2 lines to do their job scoring, and hopefully the Pearson, Nicholas, Kolasar line stays intact. Don't put Kolasar on line 2. Hopefully that line does stay intact.
Yeah, that was
and that line can, a couple. I mean, they talked about like Oilers fans cover yours if you need to, but. Was it Pierre? Who I forget whoever was it Panger whoever was between the glass?
Yeah, Panger.
It was Panger. Okay, love Darren Panger. He was talking about the slap shot. Let him know you're there. Give him something to think about in game number 5. He wasn't saying go out and injure people, but in the last 3 or 4 minutes, when it was likely what the outcome was, you lay a few hits out there, and that's what you really need to see out of Waugh, Pearson, and Kolasar. You're having the rough stuff after the whistles, but face wash isn't going to slow anyone down. A fight isn't even going to slow anyone down. It might hurt him for a couple of minutes, but a couple of big hits. You saw what it did to Pietrangelo. A couple of big hits, and you slow some of their big guns down. Maybe you find a way to sneak a victory. Maybe it's a cheap victory. Who cares at this point? Find a path to victory and give the Oilers a little bit of doubt in Game 6. Oilers right now, massive favorites. Golden Knights are plus 550 to advance on FanDuel, but they are minus 122. The Vegas Golden Knights are, so they are a slight favorite. Game number 5. So, let's see.
We were talking about fresh legs, and Kasperi Kapanen in game number 4 for the Oilers was just phenomenal, just like knocking out everyone just about. And then you were talking about the matchup. So, well, Jack Eichel, here's the magic number. He needs to play less than 22 plus minutes, because this would be 9 games in a row for Eichel. And at this rate and this pace and everything that he has to do for VGK, it is just not working. In game number 4, he did face Leon Draisaitl and that line. And, a lot of the game 4, the Oilers' second line defended Manny, Mo, and Jack, pretty well, right? It was Colson and Kapanen and Draisaitl that they had to chase around in that game. That's the way that they configured things defensively for VGK. Again, I thought it was good coaching by Knoblauch, and that was a physical line. And again, I can't say this enough. Like Jack Eichel, man, there's no one to protect him either, right? There's no Ryan Reeves to go get off of this guy.
Oh, don't stop.
Plus,
just stop it.
Well, okay, but plus he's chasing around really elite players, and now
yes, that
Draisaitl line has guys that will just knock you on your butt. That's a physical line with Draisaitl there.
And yes, does VGK have the answer? Is it Pearson, Colasar, and Nicholas Waugh? Yes,
Pearson's
and no.
played well. I think he's played very well. Personally,
he has. I don't think he's been rewarded on the score sheet yet, but he's definitely played well. See, looking at the minutes, Tony. So you're saying less time for Eichel. Okay, fine. William Karlsson's getting 17 minutes. Some of that is on the power play. He hasn't been up there with Jack recently, but some of that's on the power play. Tomas Hertl was just under 18 minutes in the last game. So what you're suggesting is more Nicholas Waugh and less Jack Eichel. And in a do or die game, that ain't happening. If Eichel's got to play 26 minutes, obviously that's not the best idea.
Yeah,
but if it's
24,
25 minutes,
they won't win if he's playing 26 minutes.
Okay, so hold on. Home game, Golden Knights will have last change. So if they decide, they can being Coach Cassidy, of course, can keep Eichel off the ice at least at the start of shifts and whatnot until a change happens. So if Coach Cassidy thinks Eichel is going to be the scorer, if Eichel is going to be the man to put the team on his back, then there's possibly plan A. Does Cassidy have a plan B, plan C, plan D when the old Mike Tyson theory, plays itself out? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Then Oilers are going to punch the Golden Knights in the mouth possibly. And if the Golden Knights get punched, what's the counter punch? And that's going to be again, I'm very high on the game within the game as far as the coaching matchups go. Knoblauch is winning, and we'll see if Cassidy at least can win once in Game 5, and then they'll figure out Game 6 from there.
Okay, so VGK's goaltending, the elephant in the room, other than the Pope in the room, their goaltending is not elite. It has not been elite in the playoffs. Any chance? And I know the fans are asking for this.
No.
Any chance of putting hips don't lie, Akira Schmidt in net? Again, hey, he stepped up in the past in big games. The biggest, of course.
Shut up, Tony!
He eliminated my Rangers in game number 7. Remember the shutout? So there. But no chance, right?
No chance. No, listen, Schmid was the second best option in Henderson, and he played good for a period against the Minnesota Wild. Let's pump the brakes here for a second. Hill is the ride or die, and that's that. I mean, if there's an injury, fine, that's another circumstance, but Hill's net, ride or die. Now, maybe if there's like a stupid circumstance where it's like a 7-6 game and the Golden Knights come out ahead and Aiden Hill comes out hobbled or something, or not 100%, not 80%, then maybe in Game 6, but there's not a world that exists besides a sawed-off leg from Aiden Hill. He's not going to be out there.
Okay. VGK, I've said this before, and I have to state it again, in that I just think they're too finesse, right? They're definitely a finesse team. And honestly, how do the Golden Knights survive a quicker, higher pace, speed, and physicality?
Slow down the neutral zone, but you don't have the answer.
Well, like they did in Game 1 in the first period.
Yeah.
And why didn't they just continue? Again, probably because that pace was way too hot anyway.
They got worn out, Tony. They got worn out.
And
plain simple. They got worn out.
They can't be chasing the game. Coming up next, we will have our locks and predictions. Hopefully not the last locks and predictions. Comes your way next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Kris Knoblauch, and I thought you were going to have
Pope,
Lamar
he said.
Odom.
The Pope said. Golden Knights are getting 3 in a row. So there you go. Pope already put the locks in.
Okay.
Are you going against the Pope, Tony? You're not going to go against the Pope.
I have to. You know what? Because, okay, play on words, but VGK has none. That's NUN and NONE. I want to believe that VGK has a life, but they have none. That's NONE, not NUN. Again, when I'm thinking about this game, man, I just this is, you have to take every game and every possession just one at a time, and you can't be looking ahead at any point. The Golden Knights, I think, are absolutely spent at this juncture. Cassidy needs, a solid game plan coming in, and he needs to pull out all the stops and all the tricks. So my locks, I have Pearson, and he's come close, and I have Eichel. My score, I have Edmonton 5, VGK 3. We'll have a handshake line, is what I'm predicting. I'm going over a half of a fight, and I'm taking over on icings at 13 and a hook. So, another thing too, check this out. So the Oilers, they won in game 4, 59% of the faceoffs. Lack of effort, attrition, worn down.
And that makes the Golden Knights even more tired too. We talked about that throughout the series. That first possession is important.
Absolutely. So that's
my Chris. Jump in, buddy.
Little Chris, is that a Grateful Dead shirt he's got on there?
Get close.
Get close. Junior,
fire off.
It's gonna be a close game. I don't think the series isn't ending, like I keep saying. The series isn't ending in anything less than 6. Vegas is gonna see glory for the last time this season. 5-2 Vegas. I think Vegas has them handled. Edmonton's done really well in these last games. I bet they're honestly just tired by this at this point. I think Vegas can. Vegas could pull out for one.
What players?
Ones last time.
What do you got for players?
Karlsson, Stone.
Carlson, there we go.
Okay.
Carlson, Stone. Thank you, little Chris. We'll go to hockey practice in a couple minutes. We got hockey practice coming up in a couple of minutes here.
Thanks, Junior.
Right. I am going. I'm with Chris. I don't think this is going to end like this. And this is the fan, maybe not the. I don't want to say.
Not fanboy
analysis necessarily, but
is this the fanboy in you? Fanboy in you. Okay.
Fanboy in me. Yeah. Something's happening out there. I might be involved in something. 5-3 Vegas Golden Knights off the beaten path. Let's go with the H's. Let's go with Howden. Give me a Hagerbomb. Give me a goal from someone who doesn't score a lot, just to kind of give some additional juice.
I say Mark Stone returns to the Sprouts selfies on Friday.
You were so good. You were okay today, Tony.
I was okay up until there.
One shut up, Tony, and that's actually 2. That's not bad for 20 minutes.
I'll go to confession on Friday.
Well, I got a guy.
Yeah, but again, what's like an early key? Obviously, VGK's got to score first, and then stay in a lead. That's the key, right?
I mean, Oiler fans, cover your ears. McDavid guy has to get blown up out there. Not injured, not a dirty hit, nothing like that. Something to either and McDavid, Draisaitl, Evander Kane. One of those 3 players.
Well.
They're all great players, but one of them needs to get blown up out there. Again, cleanly. Not saying they get injured.
Yeah, don't do that.
A clean hits, get the crowd on their feet. And then that gives you some, it's like when Rocky cut Ivan Drago and they realized Drago was human in Rocky 4. Kind of the same thing right there. This is a great Edmonton Oilers team. They're a machine right now as far as we're concerned. So, let's knock them down, back to reality to a degree. And, this is a recent Stanley Cup champion. So to have some faith on this Pope edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
Of course. And, when I said they were beaten to a pulp, I didn't say beaten to a pope. I did not say pope. You got those 2 words confused. But I think, again, too, Aiden Hill needs to be composed in net. Let all those shenanigans go. He did get a warning, right, from the refs. They said on the telecast.
What's McCauley said? You ain't Billy Smith out there. Knock it off.
That was hilarious. That was probably the best.
Oh,
line of
what
the
a
night.
great! And I think that was like, I think that's honestly what he said. Like, I think whoever was, I
They
think Panger
picked it
heard him
up.
say that.
Pang had heard it there. That was awesome. We appreciate
Great.
everyone
Love it.
tuning in, and hopefully this is not our final
Hopefully not the
BTK
last locks of the night.
postseason.
Okay, I got it right. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Episode. Of course, don't forget, tune in as always, each and every day. We appreciate our everydayers. And of course, on Fridays, WTF. Saturdays, it is Kris and Kris Jr. And that is the YouTube exclusive. For my man, Kris Knoblauch, thanks for tuning in.
And the Pope, Tony, and the Pope.
And the Pope.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks so much, Pope Dave. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights, and please take care.